Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something kind of interesting? We're talking about those we need to talk conversations. You know the ones that can make even the strongest couples a little nervous.
Oh, absolutely. They're unavoidable, but the good news is they don't have to be scary.
Exactly. And that's where this technique called the pink elephant conversation comes in. It's about creating a safe space to talk about those tricky topics.
Yeah, I mean, we all know these conversations are important, right?
Totally.
And this technique can really help couples work through those tough issues.
You mentioned pink elephant, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
it sounds pretty playful, and I'm already intrigued. Where'd this whole idea come from?
Well, it's actually a play on the elephant in the room.
Ah, I see. Those unspoken issues that can really weigh on a relationship.
Exactly.
I actually remember seeing something about this on Shark Tank a while back.
You did.
Yeah. I think they were selling some sort of like a kit or a box or something.
There was a physical product, yeah. But the real value is in the underlying communication strategy. Therapists have actually been using this for years.
So it's more about the technique than the actual pink elephant.
It is. It gives couples a framework to navigate those sensitive conversations, so they don't turn into big arguments.
Okay, so we have this framework, this roadmap. Walk me through it. What are the steps involved in this pink elephant conversation?
Think of it as a six-step journey, okay? The first step is about acknowledging there's something to talk about.
Setting the stage.
Right, exactly.
But how do you do that without making your partner feel ambushed?
That's where placing the pink elephant comes in. You have a visual reminder in a shared space, and it doesn't have to be a literal pink elephant, of course.
I was just thinking that. I mean, where do you even find a pink elephant?
Right. It could be any object, really, something meaningful to you as a couple, a photo, a souvenir, anything. It's like a signal that you're both committed to open communication.
Okay, I like that. So you've got your little reminder sitting there on the shelf, but how do you actually bring up the topic itself?
That's step two. Indicate the topic. It's like giving your partner a heads up that you want to talk, but you don't have to reveal all the details right away.
So no blindsiding, but no more avoiding the issue either.
Yeah, that's it. And then, of course, comes step three, finding the right time.
Timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to have a deep conversation when someone's exhausted or stressed.
Exactly. It's about finding a time when you're both emotionally present and you can really focus on each other.
Okay, so you've set the stage, you've hinted at the topic, you've found the right time. Now what?
Well, now comes the fun part. Step four is where the structured communication really kicks in. It's called take turns speaking. And this is where that visual reminder comes back into play.
Oh, how does that work?
You literally pass it back and forth. Whoever is holding the pink elephant gets to speak, and the other person listens without interrupting.
Ah, I see. It's like a talking stick.
Exactly. No interrupting. It ensures both partners feel heard and respected.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. So each person has had their say. What happens next?
Step five, acknowledge feelings. This is where empathy comes in. You validate each other's experiences, even if you don't agree.
So even if you're thinking, wait, that's not how I see it, you're still making an effort to understand their perspective.
Right. It creates a safe space for being vulnerable, and this is so important because a lot of times it's not the issue itself, but the hurt feelings behind it that cause the problems.
Wow, that's a really powerful point. So you've talked, you've listened, you've acknowledged each other's feelings. What's the final step?
It's discuss and resolve. Step six. This is where you brainstorm solutions together. It's about turning those tough conversations into opportunities for growth and connection.
Instead of we need to talk, it becomes we're in this together.
Exactly. Taking action as a team.
This is making me rethink those we need to talk moments. They don't seem as scary anymore.
I know, right? It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's like an opportunity to grow and connect.
It is. That's the beauty of this whole pet elephant thing. Shifting your perspective and having a structured approach can turn those conversations into powerful moments of intimacy and understanding. And remember, the pink elephant doesn't have to be an actual elephant.
Right. Any object can work.
Sure.
But what about when the topic itself is really sensitive? Like, what if it feels like the kind of thing that could lead to a fight?
Well, in those cases, it can be helpful to combine the pink elephant structure with another communication technique.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Well, one approach that I find really helpful is nonviolent communication.
I've heard of that, but I don't know that I fully understand it.
Well, it's about expressing yourself honestly, but without blaming or judging the other person.
Okay, so instead of focusing on what your partner did wrong, you focus on your own feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, instead of saying, you never listen to me, you might say something like, When I don't feel heard, it makes me feel unimportant, and I really need us to find a way to communicate where we both feel understood.
Oh, wow. That's a really different way of framing it.
It is.
It's a lot less accusatory.
Right. And it helps you approach the conversation with more vulnerability, which can make your partner a lot more receptive to what you're saying.
I can see that. Okay, so you're saying that this nonviolent communication can be really helpful in a pink elephant conversation.
Especially when emotions are running high. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So how would this work in practice? Let's say you're using the pink elephant to talk about, I don't know, feeling unappreciated.
Sure. So remember, step 1.
Placing the pink elephant.
Right. That sets the stage. Then in step 2, indicate the topic. You might say something like, hey, I've been feeling a little unappreciated lately, and I'd love to talk about it when you have some time.
Okay, so you're being direct, but also respectful of their time.
Yes. And then when you sit down to have the actual conversation, that's when the nonviolent communication comes in. So instead of saying, you never help around the house, you might say something like, I feel overwhelmed when I'm the only one handling chores. I need us to find a balance that feels fair.
Okay, yeah. I see how that shifts the focus from blame to problem solving.
Exactly. And don't forget step 4.
Take turns speaking.
That's it. Really listen to your partner without interrupting.
Try to understand their perspective.
Exactly. And when it's your turn to speak, use that nonviolent communication to express your feelings clearly.
So we're combining that pink elephant structure with nonviolent communication.
Exactly.
Okay, this all makes sense. But I'm wondering what happens next. Let's say you've had your pink elephant conversation, you've shared your feelings, you've brainstormed solutions. What's the next step?
Well, that brings us back to step 6, discuss and resolve. You need to agree on some actionable steps. Turn those feelings into actions.
Okay, so maybe that means creating a chore chart or scheduling regular date nights.
It could be anything, really, as long as it's addressing the issue.
And then I'm assuming you would put the cover back on the pink elephant.
Right. It's like closing the loop, you
Yeah.
know.
A symbol that the conversation has been had and you're both committed to moving forward.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that relationships are an ongoing process, right?
Right. So the pink elephant isn't a one-time fix. It's a tool you can use whenever you need to.
Exactly. A way to create a safe and loving space to have these important conversations.
This whole idea of the pink elephant, it's really kind of sticking with me.
It's a great tool, isn't it?
It is. It feels like it could really take the pressure off those we need to talk moments.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? To create that safe space where you can be open and honest with each other.
Absolutely. But I imagine some couples might be hesitant to actually try this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, it's one thing to hear about it, but another thing to actually do it.
I get that. It's natural to be a little skeptical, especially when you're talking about changing communication patterns, you know?
So where would you recommend couples start
Okay.
if they want to give this pink elephant conversation a try?
Start small. Don't try to change everything overnight. Maybe just start with that visual reminder, you know?
Yeah.
Place it somewhere and talk about what it means to you as a couple.
Just get comfortable with the idea of having those designated conversations.
Exactly. And remember, it doesn't have to be a literal pink elephant, right?
Right.
Choose something that's meaningful for the two of you.
Like a souvenir from a trip you took together.
Yeah. Or a picture, or even just a silly inside joke.
Right. Make it your own.
Exactly. And then once you have that reminder in place, you can start practicing that nonviolent communication just in your everyday interactions.
So instead of saying like, you always forget to take out the trash,
Yeah.
you might try saying, well, how would you say it?
Let's see. Maybe something like, when the trash isn't taken out, I start to feel frustrated because it makes me feel like our shared space isn't a priority. Would you be willing to help me out with that?
Okay, yeah, I could see how that would make a difference. It takes a little practice, but it feels so much more
I don't know.
understanding.
Yeah, and respectful.
Exactly. It's about approaching the conversation with curiosity and empathy.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive. I feel like we've learned a lot about how to improve communication in our relationships.
Yeah, me too.
You know, we talked about the pink elephant conversation, how to integrate it with nonviolent communication. It's really amazing how even small changes can make such a big difference.
It is. And remember, communication is so important for any relationship.
It really is. So as we wrap up here, I want to leave everyone with a thought. What's one small step you can take today to improve communication with your partner?
Yeah, think about that. Maybe it's choosing your pink elephant reminder or practicing some of that nonviolent communication. Every journey starts with a single step.
And remember, don't be afraid to have those "we need to talk" conversations. With the right tools, you can turn them into opportunities to grow closer together.
That's a great point to end on. So until next time, everyone keep those conversations flowing. And remember, even the toughest elephants can be tamed with a little love